To make this bow, I'm using 28 inches of 3-inch wide grosgrain ribbon. This is autumn orange. I'm also using some custom text cutout. These are just cut out of black glitter vinyl, and we can cut them out in any kind of saying or names that you need. I also have this glitter printed mascot that I'm adding to the bow, and these are great. It's very colorful and very sparkly, and it has a lot of different colors, but it's all one solid piece of glitter vinyl, so there's no layering or lining things up or cutting out a whole bunch of different pieces. We have some mascots that are pre-made, and some designs, but we can also custom make your school or team's logo and print that right on for you. I'm also using a rhinestone paw print, a seamless ponytail holder. These are great because there's no metal clamp, there's no glued seam, it's just it's a very strong, durable ponytail holder that will not snap on you. I am using a couple sticky dots to hold everything in place while I fold the bow, a rhinestone center strip, a zip tie, hold it all together, and a pressing sheet. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm also going to use stiffening spray to So the first thing I'm going to do is fold the ribbon in half, because it's important. You want to know where the center of your ribbon is. So I just fold it in half and iron a crease. And the crease is important because I'm using our regular cheer bow template mat. And these mats are great. They have exactly the right shape that your ribbon should be in before you fold it. And there's lots of measurements on here to make sure that all these little pieces that you want to put on your bow, that they're perfectly placed. So you don't want anything, a name or anything, to get lost in a fold in the center of the bow, or perhaps be up too high in the loop and then it wraps around to the back and you can't read it. These mats help you place these graphics perfectly the first time, so you know exactly where on your ribbon to put it before you iron it into place. So you need the center crease because you're going to put it right here. You're going to line it up with the 0 on the mat, and then you really just follow the pattern. And this is how it's going to look before you fold it. But for right now, we're going to use this guide to put these pieces on. Since I'm using 28 inches of ribbon, I'm going to line up the end of this piece of ribbon on the 28 mark right here. And that way I can see right here that any graphics I place should be put between this section and this section. And I'm going to put this graphic that says Tiger Pride right in that area. I'm going to center it on the ribbon. Make sure everything is aligned, looks straight and centered. So I'm going to cover it with my pressing sheet and then press straight down. It's important to use pretty heavy pressure, as much as you can, and do not slide the iron around. If you slide the iron around, your graphic is going to shift and you're going to get like a smear of glue. It's really not going to be what you want. So I'm going to hold this on here for about 10 to 15 seconds. And now I can peel away that plastic carrier sheet, and my graphic is where I want it to be. And down here in this area, I'm going to put the name. This is for one of the cheerleaders on the team. Her name is Renee. So I'm going to line up the cutout same way I did up here and cover it, and I'm going to press that iron straight down and hold it in place. Peel away that cover sheet. There's the name. Now I'm going to go to the other side. You follow the same process. 28 inches of ribbon, so I line up the end to the 28-inch mark. And I'm going to put the tiger head up in this corner. Now these come a little bit different than the cutouts that you just saw. What's different about these is the way that they're printed. This glitter piece is going to be on top of the carrier sheet instead of being on the bottom. So all you have to do is very carefully just pick it up and peel it away. And you don't want to pull it like yank it off there. You want to pull it off kind of slow, because otherwise it could curl if you pull it off really fast, especially if you're using these strips, and it's very frustrating if you're dealing with like a curled up piece of vinyl. So if you just pull it off slow, you can completely avoid that. And now I'm going to place that right here on my ribbon. And this piece that you took off, you can take it and put it right on there, just to, it's not sticky, but it will kind of hold things for you. And put your carrier sheet on, and then be very careful when you place your iron on, because since it's not sticky like the cutout pieces were, it's very easy to shift that. And all you need to do to avoid that is just place the iron straight down and hold it firmly. And you can most definitely use a heat press if you prefer. Okay, take that off. You can see you've got this tiger in place here. And now finally, the last piece I'm going to put on here is this rhinestone paw print. Our rhinestone designs, we make them right here in our office. We do not import anything pre-made, so that means that we can custom make any colors that you like. Okay, so I've got it centered on there. And the same process. Firm pressure, a hot iron. And one thing to keep in mind is not all irons are going to get as hot as you need them to be to place these graphics. Generally the linen, cotton setting, I have a couple irons that just don't seem to get hot enough. This one always works really well for me. So if you're using an iron, it is kind of like a trial process to make sure that your iron gets hot enough. The rhinestones, you do want it to cool for a few seconds. I generally take the other piece of ribbon and just kind of rub it, make sure that the glue is nice and soaked into the ribbon. And I don't peel it off when it's like screaming hot, but I do peel it off when it is pretty warm. So now that I have all my graphics in place, I can place the center crease back align with the 0 and the dash line on the template mat. And then I'm going to take one side and crease it where the 3 is here and follow the guide to bring it down. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And this is where the little sticky dots come in helpful. They make it so that you do not accidentally shift your ribbon when you are folding it. So I put one here, and then I put a second one to hold the 2 layers together. So when you fold your ribbon, just make sure you can see that little smiley face in the middle, that you've got about 1/4 of an inch gap right there. And you've got your pieces all lined up. If you do happen to make a little alignment error there, look like I kind of had this side too far over, you can peel it off that sticky dot. It's not so sticky that you can't make some adjustments. Okay. There we go. Now when you have it just right, flip your ribbon over and then bring the center crease down like this, and just make sure it's straight along the back of your bow. If this is straight, your bow is going to be straight. If you put this crooked, you're not really going to be happy with that end result, I don't think. Okay, now at this point, this is where I like to spray it with the stiffening spray. I spray it before I fold it. So what I do is I have it shaped like this, and then I spray it, and that stiffens the ribbon. And you can certainly spray it afterwards. I prefer to spray it here and let it dry. I would not spray it on top of your mat though, because you're going to get overspray and it's going to make your mat kind of yucky. So bring it somewhere else, spray it, let it dry, and then bring it back to fold. Okay, so now I have my ribbon ready to fold, and I've got my zip tie, my center, and my ponytail holder. So to fold it, you're going to bring this point up to this point. So you fold it just completely in half like this. And then you're going to fold each section, the top and the bottom, back and forth. I like to end mine so that my ribbon is facing backwards, like this, like towards the back of the bow. And then I do the same thing with the top. Then take your zip tie and just hold it in place like this. And then I take my ponytail holder, and usually I like to put it in the zip tie. You can do that with the seamless ponytail holders since they're very durable. And then tighten it, but do not pull it super tight yet, because you might need to make some adjustments. So now I'm going to look at my bow, turn it over, and make sure that everything is exactly how I want it to be. I've got my graphics lined up nicely. It looks pretty good. You want your center to look like this, where you have a series of peaks and valleys. You've got a peak, a peak, a peak, like three peaks, and then the 2 valleys in the middle, and that makes a nice neat center. Once you're satisfied with it, you can pull it tighter. I like to have my ponytail holder at the top, and the zip tie, you're going to have this kind of chunky piece that's holding it together. I like to have that on the top as well. And then you snip off that. And now you can glue your center. And I just use plain hot glue for it. These rhinestone centers are really nice to use. They work beautifully and they look nice on like virtually every bow. You don't have to worry about matching centers, and they just look nice with all colors of rhinestones. We have them in crystal and AB crystal. And now I'm just going to trim off the excess here. Okay, so now I can take my attention to the tails here, and this bow I'm just going to do a very shallow V-cut. So to make the V-cut, you just fold the ribbon in half and start high in the middle and cut out angled to the cut edge of the ribbon. And of course you don't want your edges to fray. And with grosgrain ribbon, they will if they're not prepared. So I take a wood burner and I start in the corner, and I very carefully, I use this chisel tip that's flat, and I very carefully touch it along the edge. You only have to touch it for a second. The polyester fibers of the ribbon will immediately melt and seal that edge. You can also try with a like a lighter. It works well, but it can be hard sometimes to control the flame. Please don't forget to click the subscribe button below, as each month we will be giving away free Cheerable Maker template mats. To enter, just subscribe, like, and comment to one of our videos. Thank you for watching, and please let us know if you have any questions or ideas in the comment section below. If you're interested in seeing more cheerable making videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button below. Also, leave us a comment if there's a topic you would like to see us make a video on in the future.